We are live. Yeah. Awesome. Hello, everybody out there. Hello, hello. It is Tuesday night. I have returned from the internet wasteland, almost at Westland, that is just unplugging for a few days. I'm telling you guys, it's very important. Get your mental health right. Unplug from the internet. Find something else to do. Read a book. Read a book, see a movie, watch a film, nice foreign film, something with the title like watch a foreign film that has the word sex in it. It's very weird. Very weird. You'll enjoy yourself. You will.
Anyways.
We got a great amount of guests here tonight. We have returning, I think he's got the 5 timers jacket. Michael Oden will be here with us, Luke Stone and Joe Tolliver. As always, you got us, the Ass Boys, and the Indie Princess.
Not the Ass Boys, the Sup Ass Boys.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey. Sup Ass Boys.
Sup Ass Boys.
You know, we just get called so many names on this show. This is borderline assault. So yeah, I'm gonna run the intro and we're gonna bring our guest in and we're gonna answer those questions you guys send me. And yeah, let's get to it. Oops. Here we go. Hello, everybody out there. My name is Varian Grant. I've been making comics since 2008. That's a long, long time ago. That's almost as old as touchscreen phones. Yeah. Believe it or not, that's almost such a calendar. I remember the first one I had, and I thought it was cool. Like, yeah, man, I'm in the future while the rest of you are pushing buttons and shit. Yeah. So I'm also the founder of Indie Vote Media LLC, making comics through my company, lastcallcomics.com, as well as throwing wrenches and all Luke's plans over at Terraform, much as I can. I actually know I'm the good one. I'm a good soldier. I march along. Joined by Randy Zim and the Indie Princess, as always. Hello, Indie Princess. How are you?
I don't know.
She's very gothic tonight. She's very melancholy. Have you ever seen a goth smile, guys? She almost smiled. It was it's like somewhere, some bat just had children. That's why I got. Randy, how are you today, sir?
Hey, I'm good. I'm Randy Zimmerman. I am a longtime independent and alternative comics producer, creator, everything. I've done just about everything in this business in the direct market that you can imagine, and then some. Retailed for many, many years. Created comics, self-published a lot. Right now, my specialty is sequential art for the commercial and advertising and education purposes, which actually pays a little bit better than the regular comics stuff does. But having fun, also doing my own comics and working on the Zim Geek channel on YouTube as well as here on Indie Vote. So was that long enough?
Was.
Me up
and
on, what else you need?
Oh. We have Michael Oden, creator of the Pyramid Game. It was like field Pyramid. No,
came through.
I'm upset. I had to check I had to check the account, make sure the check came through. Okay, I can say it now. Elysian Fields. Check.
Oh man. And to think you've been gone since Friday, man.
Yeah.
What a world.
Yeah, check your Venmo for that. Check, if you want that good review, Lolo tell me the Venmo came through.
We should probably run this also, just to let folks know.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of Indie Vote Media LLC and do not reflect the official policy or position of any guest or sponsors. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, it's my son hates this show.
We're rated TVMA DLSV, where the V stands for variant.
Michael, who are you?
Oh, I am. Well, as you so eloquently put, I am the creator and writer of Elysian Fields, and I brought with me a few friends here this evening to help promote because they are all involved in some way, shape, or form on the Pyramid Gambit. We've got Luke Stone, who was our letterer on the Zero issue. That he is moving on to bigger, better things with Terraform, but he still loves our project, and so he's going to be doing some trading cards for us that we're really excited about. And then we've got Joe Tolliver, who is incredibly talented, an incredibly talented artist as well, who's doing a pinup for us. And he hosts a show called Comics Cast. It is a lot of indie promotion as well. Justin Hunt is trying to come in, and he's having some technical difficulties. If he can join us, awesome. If he can't, well, that's unfortunate. He's also super talented. He's a cover artist for Lady Death. You guys might have heard of it. And he's doing a pinup for our Support Our Troops package. And then Scott Rosema is probably going to be coming on at some point as well.
Cool.
So,
Cool, yep.
Yep. Now, Luke Stone has the honor and privilege of working with me over at Terraform, and I know that he's both smitten and his cereal taste is a little bit better because I'm in his life every day. However, I am concerned. This beard that Luke Stone is growing is giving me serious Ted Cruz vibes, and
Ted Cruz.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you. To. He's like, man, I'm getting your ass on this show.
Ted Cruz, huh?
He's gonna stop. He's
like, oh man, there were a lot of.
We just had a staff change at Terraform.
I gotta make some arrangements.
Yeah.
Here.
He's gonna put the scripture to the side and say, "Let me tell you something, you."
Listen, you.
I've only had one preacher call me a cunt rag. So
just the one?
Yeah, just the one. Foul 4-hour radio there to say you need 3 more guests so you can play Indie Vote Squares and look at each other like the Brady Bunch. Yeah. And Joe,
that's an upcoming show in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Joe Tyler, like he said, he has Indie Comics Cast, which is a growing YouTube channel. A lot of good content on there as well. So, guys, welcome to Tuesday. This in this wacky comic initiative we have. I think that you guys all have been in comics, if I had the same amount of time, longer than I have. And as such, you've seen the show and you know what we do. We ask these questions. We have questions that people write in, and Randy reads them, and we allow you to weigh in on them. And we're going to jump into those right now before we start talking about Mr. Odin's new book, which I keep on calling.
Before we do that, we need to check that chat. Jim O'Reilly says, hello, everyone.
What's going on, Jim?
And Koala says, goth smiles are creepy. Pop says, hello, read Mike. Indie Volt says, hey, everyone very back.
That's us.
Yeah.
That's you, Joe D. McPhee. Evening, all. Evening, Joe. How you doing?
What's going on?
Fried Owl Radio says you need, well, it's just, we already read it. We got that. Never mind. Let's go.
All right. So this is the one that I thought was very interesting, and I thought, you know what, we should talk about this. Here it is, Randy. Go ahead and read that for me.
Bob Q. Thanks so much for writing in, Bob Q. Being a con organizer is hard work, but I figured out a way to weed out press skells. I'm watching their coverage of online cons, chatting with creators, etc. During our lock-in, I've seen most of these die-hard journalists go nowhere near comics. They won't be receiving passes next year. Any tips I missed? He's watching these online journalists.
Yeah, I think what Bob's referring to, and Bob can write back in if I'm wrong, but I think what he's referring to, and what I took from this is that, you do have people who come to your show I know you have it, Randy. You run 2 shows. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
I'm Press. I have a blog. Can I get a free ticket? Can I get into your con? And sometimes, those people just really is they don't want to pay to come to Comic Con. They enjoy Comic Con, but they don't want to pay that $45, $50, whatever it is. So they create and so they say, hey, I have a website. I'm a media journalist. I cover comics. That type of thing happens, and I don't know if watching their coverage of online cons or seeing their chat with creators during this downtime is the best way to handle that, though, Bob. Because a lot of people they're locked in. They don't know how to reach out. They don't want to reach out.
Yeah.
And frankly, some of them probably shouldn't. It's. I just don't want to see you start banning people and say they can't get tickets to my show because they're not living up to what you consider, how they should be. I mean, I get it. They
can't get tickets. It's just no free passes.
Yeah, they yeah. I guess they could pay for them.
Yeah.
And in Indie Vault, I always pay for. I have paid for media passes, not press passes, but media passes, which is usually like a discount. But what I find, if I pay, because I normally got to pay for like 3 or 4 tickets, because I got, interviewer, sound person, camera person, and somebody talk to the cops, and it's usually. I pay, and then I find that later on, next year I'll be able to get a free ticket because they see, okay, he's willing to pay.
Yeah.
So the guy is actually, and I'll make sure that when I do the coverage, I tag them all in it so they have it. So there is, that's something that I think you should do. Malfunction says hello from New Zealand. Hello,
Malfunction.
What's up, man?
I was taking I took a virtual tour to New Zealand the other day. It was really awesome. I kind of wanted to be there. I woke up and I was laying on the bed and I fell asleep and woke up and man, that would have been awesome to go to. What do you guys think though? I mean, are there any other tips? I mean, that you would say if someone came to you, you're running the show, and we'll start with you, Joe, because you got a site. Are there any tips though if you were running a Comic-Con that someone comes and says, I'm pressed? How do you weed them out from somebody who's just looking to get into your show for free?
Well, I mean, you guys know a lot more than I do on that because I've been a part of and I've worked with and I've helped another site run. I was kind of like a producer on the con. It was really successful. I mean, it was a digital con though, so everything I was working towards was building that digital sort of experience and trying to figure out a way to do that where it made sense. We hadn't gotten to the point where it would make sense to actually charge anything because everything was still like a streaming con. So that whole virtual interactive con is still something that's being built. So I wouldn't know that on that side, but I do kind of the way I saw it. I think based on the question is like, hey, that physical con, people want to get tickets to go do that. They want to get in the door. They want to be involved in all that. And they want to act like they're super nerdum or whatever. And then I guess when everything he's talking about when it was lockdown, nobody really talked about it. I think it's true because a lot of things about cons are go outside of comics, which is regrettable, but that's sort of where we're at to get all the normies or whatever you want to call them through that front door and have fun and check out the movie posters and the big, cards or whatever is going on or cosplay, all that good stuff. Not that cosplay is probably the best fans ever. But yeah, that sort of thing. But like when we got on lockdown, I think we unlocked a whole new group of fans that wanted to eat up all that fandom stuff. And that's where like shows like Comics Cast came out of. I mean, we're at like 4,500 followers right now on Facebook alone, building a website, everything else. And we just started a few months ago. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's a hunger out there for that fandom. And I think a lot of people are just growing and finding their own little space to sort of support that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what do you think, Mr. Ogun?
I think this is an interesting question. So, a lot. I've spoken about this a few times, but my introduction into this industry was that I wrote, and I still do. I write freelance for our site called Up Your Geek, and I do a lot of comic reviews and stuff like that. I haven't gotten to the point where like I've been able to go up to like, hey, I'm press, let me in. But I think that if there's any way to kind of filter that sort of stuff out, is make sure that you're checking the samples for these guys, see how frequently they post content. When I wasn't working on like Elysian Fields and everything, and my editor could confirm this, like I was literally every week I was contributing like 4 or 5 posts or reviews. And active people that are actively journalists, they've got like 5 or 6 stories that they publish a week, and there's probably closer to 10 that they have that they ended up just freaking trashing. Like I know that there'd be some weeks where I'd have like article ideas that I'd really like, and then I'd start writing and like, this doesn't work, and I'd trash it.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be the best way to do it, is like make sure that they're genuine, because I don't doubt that there are people that are like, oh yeah, I have a media site. You should give me a press pass to come into this convention, and then you give them that, and they're literally just there to be a free tourist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Yeah, no, and that makes complete sense. Like unfortunately, I'd like to consider myself an optimist. I believe in that everybody has the potential to be good generally, and I like to believe in the best in people. But I've also, I've been kicked around enough in life where I know that they're just like, there's some people that take advantage of that good faith, and I've seen it, and everyone here has seen it as well. So I think that the best thing that you can possibly do is just vet these people, make sure that they are putting out the content that they say that they are. And
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Luke.
Yeah.
Wait a sec.
I was going to say that we've seen it. There's a lot of people that have the dead sites, and then a couple months before con season they just turn them on and throw a bunch of random stuff there. They look at what everybody else has reported on, and they start throwing stuff in there, just so they can get a free ride, free ticket and those things. So I totally get where the kind of where the question asker, like the commenter, is coming from. But I agree with Michael. You got to vet them. Did they?
Yeah.
How many articles did they post? Beyond 2 or 3 months ago. Like how long have they actually been into it? What kind of influence do they actually have with their articles? What kind of reach do they have? That kind of stuff. So
hell, they're freaking vetting the damn artists so much. They want like our firstborn. They might as well vet the damn media a little bit better.
Exactly.
Point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's all I had to add to that.
Like it's a good question. I think this is actually one of the better questions that I've seen when I'm on, because a lot of the times it's a bunch of butthurt people that are trying to get at Varian and Randy.
They're coming. They're coming.
They'll be there.
Okay.
They're coming. I do.
This was a nice, refreshing change of pace.
That was a softball, brother. That was a softball to get us warmed up.
I know of a con locally that they have a pretty strong vetting process, and they look at your site, they look at your site numbers, they want to see how many hits you're getting, if you have a YouTube presence, what are your subscribers like, and they've told people don't even bother subscribing, don't even bother applying for a media pass unless you have X number of subscribers on your YouTube. And people are not,
that's fair though. I mean, they're putting a lot of money into this. If they want to be advertised, they're not going to waste their time with somebody who's got 22 viewers. It's a rough reality. You know what I mean?
I have another friend of mine. He refuses to go to shows for some particular shows. One of them, they have a rule that they say that they actually own all of your footage at the show they can use.
Oh wow.
And he's like, no, you don't. And they're like, yeah, you do. And so he doesn't go to that show because he read that in the rules. And he was like, so if I get a free ticket from you guys, you own all my footage. You can use it for whatever you want. That didn't sit well with him. And I respected him for that. I respected him for doing that. So, but he wasn't there as press. And you know what? He didn't take a single picture. He didn't take a single picture that weekend. I will say though, again, and another thing you could do as a convention owner, because people will come in and lie. Oh, I own this website. See who owns the website. People will lie all the time. So just to get into that show, to get in, then they'll walk around, try to get stuff for free from everybody, haggle you. It's probably the reason why people. Randy told me, I think it was Randy. Randy, free cons are usually a bad idea.
I've always found them to be a bad idea. The shows I throw are very small and inside a farmer's market. I still charge $5 to get through the door because that cuts out the oglers and the people that are just there to cause trouble.
Yeah, for everybody. I showed up and said, "Yo, what's up, Randy? Indie Vault?" He said $10.
Yeah.
I said,
here in the chat, Pat Koala says as an organizer, and he does a big show up in Traverse City.
Mm-hmm.
Right? As an organizer, there's only one real metric I look at. What can you do for me? Will you being there get even one more person through the door? And they're actually creating coverage for your event.
That's true. That's true.
So if you're helping him, he's helping you.
Well, is that talking about media or is that talking about artists and creators? Like,
no, I think that's talking about media and people who own sites, news sites online or whatever that want to get in on a freebie media pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, again, I would even say, and I know this is probably unpopular, maybe limit some of their abilities that they can do. Like maybe they get in they can get in an hour early, but they have to leave a little bit earlier. Because I don't know.
Or at least make it so that like you get to do all the media stuff, but maybe put like restrictions on, hey, so you're here for a media thing, going through like Artists Alley, you maybe having the media people restricted to only panels.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things they could do, and you'll start to see people say, "Screw this! There's got to be a better way to get in that con." And there is.
That would be a little difficult to enforce, to restrict somebody their media just for panels.
As I said, I don't like it. At the end of the day, I feel like there's a lot of things that you can do, but like similar to like legislation, like it's one of those things where you can only do so much. Like, one of the first rules in security is if somebody wants to do something, they're going to do it. They're going to find a way to do it. So you're never going to prevent it. Nothing that you put down and try to enforce is going to really stop it 100% from happening. There are going to be people that are going to be like, well, okay, they say they're going to restrict me to this, but I'm just going to go sneak out and do this, that, the other. Like, if somebody really wants to do something, they're going to figure out a way to do it. That's how that's always worked.
Dan says hi. Hi, everybody. Hi, Michael.
Hi,
Dave
Dan.
says hello, everyone.
Pete Vasquez says that makes sense. Ralph Griffin says after a con or two, you should be able to filter out those looking to game the system. I would think that is true. And Pat says specific to press past the topic at hand. Yeah, I think we have to make sure that our industry isn't being, I think it helps with us too. Hey, you can pull that organizer to the side or send them an email after the show. Maybe, you probably want to do it after the show and say, hey, that guy from, JJ Comic Reviews. I'm sorry if this is JJ Comic Reviews. I'm sorry. I just simply looked and seen JJ right there, and I figured, okay. He's not legit, only updates his site once a year when this con is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just the odd man out, but to me, I just kind of find the whole idea of the media press pass to be kind of irrelevant. Like, if you want to save $5, $10 to get in my con, and you're going to push it however little or much you're going to do, fine. I mean, no press is bad press kind of thing. No limited amount of press is bad press. But like, everybody there with a cell phone is going to be press for you. So just figure out a way to get people to be doing selfies and ways to market. And I think that's how you multiply it. And like, just the idea of even trying to figure out restricting them or movement or whatever is just counterproductive. That's just the way I see it. Like, maybe I haven't been an organizer, so I haven't seen the negative effects of just riffraff running around acting a fool.
Yeah.
So
I would like to ask you guys though, let's flip that around for a second. as a creator, you're sitting at your table, somebody pops up, they say, "Oh my God, it's Luke Stone. I have all your albums and I love your comics. I want your new trade, but I can't afford it."
Sorry.
They can't afford it while they're sticking their tickets to Hamilton in their pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should probably put it on your Christmas list. I don't know, ask Santa Claus, but
Well,
yeah,
I'm
get it from me.
I'm pressed,
free.
Mr. Stone.
Oh.
Can I have a book for
Yeah.
free?
A lot of press requires that you give them your book for free so that they can do a review on it, which is why I don't have a lot of reviews on my books.
Mhm.
I don't watch them, you know. I mean, heck, let's put it this way. I know what's wrong with my book. That's why I hire an editor. So if you're going to tell me it sucks, then I need to find another editor. But no, I mean, yeah. But the thing is, a lot of these news sites, and I know I'm going to make some enemies right here, but we don't need, the creator doesn't necessarily need the news site. The news site needs someone or something to make news about, because there's so many news sites already. Right. So if you're starting something new, you need that content, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are things that, like, hey, let's help one another. If I've got a book that I don't, no one knows about, and it doesn't really behoove me to put it on someone's news site that no one knows about. You know, it's like, I'm going to stop because I'm going to make enemies. I'm not into that.
Luke, let it out.
I'm just trying to
do it.
Yeah, I mean, coming from somebody who had to create a site not that long ago and had to create that fan base and everything, like, yeah, I mean, it goes both ways. You got to respect the creators, and you got to ask to get that content, and you're going to do everything in your damn power to be able to push that as far as you can.
Yeah,
so it's a trust issue for sure, and don't take that shit for granted when you got somebody to work with you.
I've been a fool. I've given out some free books, and I'm always upset because I'll check like 3 months later. I'll Google my book. I'll type review up, and I won't find a review. And I'm like, man, what the hell? You know.
So for me, I'm on both sides of the equation, because, as I said, I still do comic reviews, and there have been some people that have sent me their books for free to review, and I really appreciate it. And generally, if I really like those books, I tend to go out and find where I can, purchase them, and I purchase them because I want to support those creators, because I'm on this end of the equation. I'm now on the creative end of the equation as well. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I know how much effort really goes into that. That's something I want to respect. But there was one incident that happened to me where I was pissed, and it happened during the Zero issue, and I ended up having to give out a press book because the guy blindsided me on his own show. He had me on, and he was talking to me, and was like I can't remember the exact verbiage, but it was effectively like, so you're gonna give us a book to review, right? And so I'm there live. And we've been.
I don't recall doing that. I'm just kidding.
I was doing the same thing. I was like, did I do that? I don't think so.
No, it wasn't anyone here. And I don't think that the person that did it as a dick move either. I've seen this person make very dumb decisions, and I don't think that it's him being a bad dude or anything. I just think that he will say something or do something and just be completely oblivious of the consequences that may have and how that might affect somebody. So I effectively got bull rushed into giving this dude a compressed copy, and I was like, that was fucked up, dude.
you got shame bombed.
Well, it happens sometimes. That's, I think, one of the things with having a lot of indie guys that haven't been doing this so long, that they're just trying to figure it out. There's certain rules that you don't do on when you're on media and stuff. You don't do stuff on live where you're putting somebody in a position where they have to make a decision on live TV. Unless it's fully intentional, you need to be aware that you're doing it. That's kind of a choice. So if you're doing it and it's out of ignorance, then you're not good. You're not a good host, number one. And if you're doing it on purpose, then you're a dick, and you deserve the blowback that you're going to get.
We've been joined by Justin Hunt. Luke, go ahead.
I was just going to say that, the ones that require that you give them something in order for them to review your book, it almost is like pay to play kind of stuff. And there's plenty of sites out there that don't require anything free from you in order to report on what you're doing, And
the IndieVolt rating system now requires. I'll put it up on the page on this thing here. We have the art, story, design, value, and production segments of our website of our reviews for comics. And I always tell people that production column is will be NA unless you give me a physical book, because we look at the production of the book. Did this person spend good money getting this book produced, or did they, maybe put it together themselves? Because I did see a book like that. A guy printed it off himself. Yes, it's about as bad as you can expect. But yeah, so let's bring in Justin. Justin, can you hear us?
I can. How are you?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Justin?
Hey, Justin.
Good. Hey, Michael. Sorry I'm a little late. I had some technical difficulties, but I got reception where I'm at now.
Awesome. Glad to have you, Justin. Justin, can you introduce yourself for people who are listening?
Sure. My name's Justin Hunt. I am I'm an Army vet, combat vet, which is important to part of this discussion. But I'm also a comic book artist. I've done stuff for Coffin Comics, Lady Death, Marvel, Big Dog Inc., Pilot Studios, a whole gamut. I do about anywhere from 15 to 25 covers a year. I'm also done some commission artwork for the NFL, Players Association, 2nd Ranger Battalion, U.S. Marines, and a couple other guys out there. So I don't know. I draw now and then.
Awesome. But the next question we have actually kind of ties into the last one. I'm going to put it on screen. We should all warn this guy not to do it, though.
Don't do it. Phil W. Any suggestions for me? I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel where I talk to people about comics. Phil W. Well, that's an original thought.
Don't do it, Phil. Don't do it. Don't do
Thanks
it.
for writing it, Phil.
Yeah. Don't do it.
It's such a super saturated market at this point. Unless you have like a genuinely unique take, like it's not going to have the effect that I feel like most people that are big in that at this point have already like established themselves, and they did it either they've done it over the past few years or they took advantage of, what was going on earlier this year to really cement themselves when people were there all the time, and now they have like an established audience. Like, I know Indie's been around for a bit, but like you guys
and we still tried cheap tricks. We still
cheap.
We still I mean, like we literally put the indie princess in the most revealing outfits every week we possibly can. She doesn't say anything. You might notice, like, I don't think indie princess had 200 words on the show. She just
is that intentional?
It's intentional, guys. Come on. We know what you.
Wait, why are you showing the 6 guys? Go back.
Yeah. She knows why she's here. She's like, I'll just come on the show and sit. I don't know. Sometimes you guys are talking about Golden Age stuff, and I'm just lost. So yeah. Now here we go, Randy. That question.
Oh
goodness! Is this the coming at?
Hey, wait 1 second, real quick, before you go to the next question. Just to answer Phil, I know everyone said don't start your own YouTube channel. I would advise the same. Like, it's not a saturated market, but as I switch over to production mode and I start working on creating our app versus working on interviews and such, I could use another person who wants to talk to guys. So if you want to launch a YouTube channel, get your name out there, you can work through Comics Cast and then push and also stream to your YouTube channel as well. It's perfectly fine. Just DM me and we'll talk about if it's something you're interested in doing.
All right. See that Joe offered you a job.
Boom.
Keep on. Joe Tolliver of Indie Comics Cast offered you a job, not IndieVolt. When we don't write me, don't DM me.
Don't write any. We'll talk. You and me. We'll talk.
Yeah, I'm not even in charge anymore. Don't write Lola. Don't write the Indie Princesses. No.
I'm
Yeah,
here
I
as
mean,
an artist, and
Yeah,
I'm pushing my comic cast. I should have written artist by my name. I totally dropped the ball on this.
well, Joe. I mean, Joe. There's like, okay, you're an artist, and you're doing the media thing too. And same here. I got a publishing company. I draw, and I find it like on IndieVolt, I make an effort not to promote anything that I'm involved in.
Yeah.
To the point where Lucas called me before and yelled at me in the middle of the night. He said, "It's Terraform, and you didn't put it up." And I'm like,
"Yeah,
but I'm involved." He's like, I don't care. Do it. No, he has never told me that. He's never told me that. But I thought about it, like, because I feel bad, because I'm like, I'm the media. I can't show preferential treatment to.
Well, it's our job to highlight our guests. It's our job to make sure they look great. All that good stuff. And it's so funny. I got to say, like, I want to say it's happened about 10 times where people have come up to me and they're like, "You're an artist?" Like, I didn't even know. I thought you were just the host on Comics Cast, or you were one of the co-founders of Comics Cast. I didn't know you drew it all.
Yeah.
And I was like, I try to not focus on that. Go to my channel.
Yeah.
You know?
Rumor is you can draw. Yeah.
I'm okay. Go to Oliver. You'll find my stuff.
So
here's in the end, Phil, before you jump to the next question, take a look around YouTube, spend an afternoon, go through and watch all of these videos where everybody's interviewing everybody. And if you think you can do it better, if you think that you have a unique spin to it, if you think you can be more entertaining, then try it out and see what happens. Or like Joe said, get a hold of Joe and do some interviews.
If you think you can swim in this toxic cesspool,
that is
the comic industry.
Bad quick.
Go ahead. Do it. I'm telling you, at least get yourself a good therapist before you do it.
Should we catch up on the chat real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Dan says, I am reading Michael's first book that he sent me. Oh, maybe
thanks.
Dan wasn't the guy you were talking about earlier, was it?
Yeah, no, he actually. So I was on Phil's show a while ago, and Phil had been pushing us pretty hard. And Dan had been looking for some books, and he got a hold of me, and I had an extra one to spare, and I shot his copy along with the rest of the second wave when we shipped that out. And so I'm really excited to get his feedback, and he's really excited for Pyramid Gambit. And so we're really excited to have you in the fan base, Dan. Thank you.
Cool. Jason Moore, thanks for listening. Jason, I've seen plenty of people with press badges at shows that are standing at dealers' tables going through product every single time I see them during the show, or eating at the food area multiple times.
Hey, that's part of the press badge now. Don't hate.
That are very clearly not actual press. Mark Hodges, thanks for listening, Mark, from the Grand Rapids Comic-Con. Easy to fix that problem. Have the proposed press send a link to their previous year's coverage, unless a new press. No past coverage equals no press badges.
Yeah.
What's that, Joe? Oh, Joe's holding up a press badge.
Hold on, let me see it.
You gotta eat now.
Yeah.
You gotta get that eat on.
Yeah.
I've been on both sides. I've been on both sides.
Yeah, we've got some fancy IndieVolt press badges.
Nice. I gotta get a Comics Cast thing, man. Make it legit.
Plus, there's a big difference with local TV, newspaper, and radio press. They are automatics for us, and I can attest to that at my show. I have had the local TV station pop in first thing in the morning as the show starts, and then boom, by the afternoon, I'm flooded with people because they put on their noon cast, and people needed something to do.
By the way, Mark, I'm glad you're in the chat. Mark, I need you to sue NBC.
Ooh.
And then give me some money. Because I'm watching my favorite show. I'm watching SVU. And they make this comment. They're trying to find this killer. And they make this comment. We found it at this comic store. And Stabler says, I should have known. Psychos are always in the comic books. And then they go to the store. And the guy's like, I was at Comic Palooza or Comic something, some Comic Con in Grand Rapids last week. And I'm like, no, the fuck they didn't. I'm at the Comic Con in Grand Rapids every year. What are they trying to say? Mark, let's get our lawsuit on. I'm just saying, just give me like 5% of what we take from NBC. 5%.
Hey, I'm a bit psychotic and I haven't been to Grand Rapids. I'll take the invite.
And
Ralph says right. Those are no brainers.
our final question of the night, Randy. We have to end on this one.
I'm prepared. Derek D. Thanks for writing in, Derek. Have you guys ever gorilla milked it to a female whale? I was not prepared for this question. Have you guys ever
There's always one
illustration on a comic book page or otherwise? My personal fave for the California water omelet is Dawn. Derek D. Derek, that's a little rough, but it's okay.
Vermilion, man.
All the descriptors is what's doing.
Thank you for your colorful language, Derek. We appreciate your question. You did take us all off guard, though. That was pretty awesome. Gorilla milked it, huh?
Gorilla milk. That's
Yeah.
Michael
I don't wanna
Linsner
take
is
it.
now
I've heard that
I want
before.
to explain that.
that was a first for me.
I've never.
Or the California water omelet.
Michael Linsner
It's
just
not the
flipped.
Flint water omelet.
What did you say, Justin?
I said Michael Linsner just flipped in his grave.
I want to know, like,
I thought Linsner was still alive.
I'm not sure.
Dude,
Okay.
I just wow. You can tell what I've been drinking. I mixed him up with Turner.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Don't mix it with
Turner.
Turner. That's Varian's favorite artist.
Favorite, yeah. Average Comic Con says, "What the hell is gorilla milk?"
It's exactly what you think it is, Mark. Go back and read that question again. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Fright Owl says, "At last, an original question." Joe D. McPhee says, "Laugh my ass off. Not to note to self: do not go near gorilla milk."
It's not something you find on most store shelves.
That'd be a great band name, wouldn't it?
Oh, wait, there we are. Ladies and gentlemen, entering the stage, it's Gorilla Milk.
Oh my goodness, Guano guy says, and get me as a co-host because I bring the entertainment. Yeah, Mark Darton is very funny. Guano, creative Guano guy. I'll send him a link a little bit. I'll see if we can get him in here. Is that Jameis? Says it will be fun to see this comic made anywhere near Dawn's creator. Ouch.
Yeah.
It would. It probably wouldn't be good for us.
Daphne Lake chimes in. Where the F was Derek when we were talking about furry porn all last week? He's probably listening, Daphne. He's just
Well, he'll be listening now, of course. Yeah. Rebel Gaming says, "Shout out to Joe."
And of course, Rebel Gaming comes in.
Mhm.
Shout out to Joe.
I bet you a lot of people with gorilla milk to Niobe.
Grand Rap.
I was actually thinking that, but I didn't want to throw his character out there.
That's his next character, though.
Yeah. Sorry, Larry.
I thought you did that to Playboys.
Sometimes,
And Guano guys.
Apparently, comments.
So I guess, guys, this is the question.
How many killers were ever found with comics?
I don't know, but they seem to think that.
There's a couple of them that come to mind.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, I don't know.
But seriously, have any of you done X-rated comic work?
Not that was published,
No.
but I have done some X-rated stuff for people that asked.
Just
I have.
his hand up
Like
slightly.
personal stuff, you were like, "Here's a piece of paper. It's in plastic for you." Like-
I just did some covers for Totally Rad Life of Violet,
Mhm.
and they are not for the squeamish. They're very graphic. They have a used Sabian on it, whipped cream, ball gags, everything. So there's some stuff out there.
Wow.
Wow.
Joe, you did some X-rated stuff?
No,
You did help people gorilla milk?
I'm not helping people gorilla milk or any of that water splash stuff, whatever the hell it was. The water omelet. No,
California water omelet.
no. I mean,
Water
I love the Frank Frazetta stuff. So I love drawing women. I think okay. So unintentionally, I might have. So like,
Just like, oh, shit. It's time to come clean. Bare his soul.
so I drew. What's the girl from DC that does all that? Creates all the
Gail Simone?
she can control the plants and everything.
Oh,
Poison ivy.
So I did a poison ivy piece that was very revealing. It was based off of it was referenced from like a nude character, and it wasn't like in a super seductive. It was just a power pose, kind of like a Frank Frazetta sort of thing, and so my Instagram thing was shallow. Like I was getting maybe 50 views, 100 views on videos. This thing got over like 2,000-3,000 views. So.
See that porn.
Someone gorilla milk.
Luke, we know you done it. No, I think Luke is the only.
I did make a little bit of money in high school doing that.
See, I was expecting you to say no way.
No, I wasn't always saved.
See, Mr. Odin, you been drawing that nasty shit?
I'm not even the fucking artist here. I write things.
You been writing that nasty shit?
I don't have any trashy like fan fiction crap. Like,
now Lola, Indie Princess here, is doing an X-rated comic.
A couple of them.
Yeah, she's doing a couple of them. So she is a pervert, and will probably, she's the reason why people have been gorilla milking it. Apparently, so yeah, she's got a book of people. Yeah. There was another comment that was sent in. I won't read that one. It was for Indie Princess. Won't read that one, but I will say this, Randy. You did some X-rated stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Succinct and to the point.
Yes.
Yes, I have. In my youth, I used to manage a chain of adult bookstores, and I had pitched many an idea to many a publisher.
Oh wow!
Guano guy said it's a no for me, dog, on the adult question. Ralph says, those good old undergrounds.
Those
Rebel
great
says, totally
old undergrounds, Ralph. Great old undergrounds.
Totally Rad Comics by Jim Noble. Jason Moore says, whatever you do, don't order a California water omelet at your local greasy spoon diner.
Hey, man. That's good.
Aha. Daphne says, I'm stealing gorilla milk for my next sketchbook. You have to draw gorilla milking it, though.
I see.
I think that should be something that everyone has to draw. Hashtag gorilla milk. Everyone who watches this and is an artist has got to put gorilla milk in some sort of product.
Yeah. Gorilla milk is delicious. Jason, I heard they only use the whites. Who was that? What? I don't. What?
For the California.
Oh, I get it. That's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Because
Because somebody messaged Lola and said they were. I think it was Derek D. Said that.
That was a bad joke.
Yeah. Said they want to spray her with their white gold. I was like, white gold, and I said, "Oh, that's nasty." But she's used to it. She gets it all the time. Jody McPhee says, "Varian, the truth seeker of gorilla milking, been asked to write X-rated, but haven't had anything published." Jameis says, "All of a sudden, I'm happy. I'm a writer." I won't have to draw that, right? Yeah, it's gorilla milking, man. So let's talk about
that, right? Yeah.
We're gonna switch gears here and talk about Elysian Fields. Now, the first Elysian Fields, I got it because everyone who knows me knows that I'm a sucker for shiny covers. And Michael was like, I know how to get Varian to buy a book. I'm gonna put a shiny cover on it. So you put the first book out. We reviewed it on indievolt.com.
Yeah. It was a fantastic review.
Yeah, you actually got really good numbers on it. I should have brought it up if I was any type of a professional. I would have brought your review up earlier. And but you scored pretty high on the review, and we had the physical copy. So when I gave it out to a review person, one of our review people,
people were really happy with the production quality. I actually have a copy of it right here.
Mm-hmm. Good.
So just to take this bad boy out. So, we had a pretty solid production quality on it, good page weight and everything. Yeah, it turned out really well.
Yeah, the lettering was on point.
Yeah. Oh, gee, I wonder why you say that, Luke. You totally have no vested interest in the lettering whatsoever.
Zero.
I would like to announced that Luke Stone, I've realized that there is a Luke Stone lettering style. He used a particular type of bubble. And I know why he's doing it. He's doing it because he recognizes how my brain works, and he's doing it to irritate me. He does this thing where this bubble goes all into the screen and it stops, and he does this where it's his bubble because he's done it. He did it in Elysian Fields, and he does it in hybrids, and it's very unique. And once you get used to it, you start wondering why you're not seeing it in other comics. So you ruined comics for me, Luke. It's you and a couple of editors at Marvel. Thanks, you guys are. I think that I
doing my part.
Yeah, I think that I think your balloon style. You have a balloon style.
I do.
I know when you did it. I know when you had something to do with the book. I'm gonna ape it in my book. I'm gonna see if I can get my balloons that look like Luke's. I'm gonna call them.
I can teach you how.
Yeah, they'll be still balloons. Here's a review on IndieVolt. You scored pretty high. Let's see here. 4 in the art, 4 in the story, 3 in the design, 4 in the value, and 4 in the production. Really good numbers there. We got smiling Vickies all the way across. So now you got not a whole new team, but you got a larger team.
We've retained like Marcelo, who did the art on the first book, continued to do work on the second. I wanted to make very early in the campaign when we started getting some real numbers, I hit up Marcelo and I was like, look, I want you to be the artist of Elysian Fields. And so we secured that really early. So like he obviously continued. Luke ended up going off and being a big kid, becoming a CEO, becoming an editor-in-chief of a comic company. And so he was like, deuces, not your letterer anymore. But that's exactly how that conversation went. It's a
He's like, I've outgrown you a bit. And,
I was like, I loved lettering the book, but I just didn't have time.
No, and it was completely understandable. I wasn't mad about it at all. So we brought in SK, who wrote a book called Terra Olympus, and he's doing the lettering, and he's doing a great job picking up where Luke left off. And then we brought in a whole bunch of people to do covers and pinups. And so, I'm going to. I actually want to turn that over because we brought in. I feel like Justin has barely gotten a chance to talk, and Justin's coming in to help us out on our support our troops package. And so what we're doing with that support our troops package is it's a $50 package, and you get a special edition of the book that has an exclusive cover done by Ted Lehman, and Farah Nurmaliza will be coloring it. She's booked till November, so we won't get to see how that looks until later. But we do have Ted's line and inked art up there, and it's fantastic. But then the other big thing is Justin's doing a pinup and is designing a unit patch. So part of what is going to be in that is you're going to get Justin's pinup, and you're going to get a unit patch that Justin designed and a challenge coin that will have the unit patch on one side and the Elysian Fields logo on the other. And so $10 of every purchase made of our Support Our Troops perk, that's going to be going to the Special Forces Charitable Trust, which is why we have the Special Forces logo there. But I'm going to let Justin talk a bit about his pinup, because I know he started work on that, and I'm really grateful that he was able to come out here tonight. He does a lot of work a lot of the time, and so it's great to have him.
Hey, thanks, Mike. So Michael approached me and asked me, told me a little bit about Elysian Fields and the concept of the story, and I looked into it, and I like the mythology of it, and I love the history of the military. As a Army vet, and I've got some combat tours, and I was fortunate enough to spend some time with the 1st Special Forces Group, not as a member of it, but attached, in Mosul, Iraq. Really got to know those guys. I've done a bunch of charity work for the military. So when he approached me with this, we started throwing back ideas. And Michael, you're going to have final inks tomorrow. You don't know that
awesome.
yet. But it's a piece that really shows teamwork It represents different weapon systems of the follow me of the infantry. Rangers lead the way. The no one's left behind kind of mentality. With the three primary protagonists from Elysian Fields overlooking from the clouds as watchful eyes over these crackpot command group of soldiers. Um, Kind of went crazy, modified up the uniforms a little bit the way I wish I had it 15 years ago when I was in. Took the and I said to him, I said, "Hey, let me design a patch, because if we put the 82nd Airborne, All American Airborne, all the way, we put that patch on, everybody from the 101st will be pissed off. We put 101st, everybody else is pissed off. You put 10th Mountain, everybody else is pissed off." So I said, let me create a new patch. So we're going with a very iconic Greek character that represents Hades and really shows the I don't want to put it away too much. I want to be a surprise a bit, but it incorporates parts of Hades and incorporates um, actual Greek shields and Spartan shields and some a little bit of a motto that has become prolific in the veteran community. Um, and I think it's one of those ones that where people see it, um, they're gonna be so happy about it. And Michael, you don't know, I did the patch both in the subdued color format and a full color format. So you have your dress uniform patch, and then you have your subdued combat patch.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
So
And that'll be great for that. We'll do that like full color patch for the challenge coin, and the subdued will be the unit patch. That's a fantastic. Thank you so much. That's so cool.
Yeah, and then I mean, if anybody's got questions, but I mean, this this one right here with the medic that he's showing right now, that's the concept of protection and no one falls behind. The image I have is one of the biggest things we say in the military is, "Do you have my 6?" Referring to your backside. And the image I'm doing, all hell's breaking loose, and these guys are in a tight formation, guns out, ready to kick some ass. So I think you'll like it.
I'm really excited, man, because as I said, this has been one of the big things I've been looking forward to, is seeing your work and what have you, and seeing your work that I've seen and that you sent me has just been absolutely outstanding. So I'm really excited to see how the finished product comes out.
For everybody else, and I don't mean to cut you off, Michael, but one
of the things
that Michael's putting in this book is all my sketch work, all my prelim art. I'm sending all of that to him, and he's going to have the how-to, so that the people who get the book actually have, I think it's 1 or 2 pages on the design factor of going from conception to execution of this piece.
Yeah, and that is actually going to be in a gallery for the Support Our Troops thing. That's going to be that's why it's not just you get that variant cover that they scrolled by here with the medic dragon with Achilles kind of pointing them to safety with the spear. You're not just going to get that cover. You're going to get the gallery of Justin's process of making his pinup. And it's a really special book. We really wanted this, hard to do holofoil covers and everything when we're going for a trade dress, not trade dress, pure bound book. The closest thing that we can really get to that is UV stamping. But the big thing that we really wanted to do here is for this Support Our Troops thing to really give you your bang for your buck. And so you're getting the standard story. There's going to be a character gallery on the next book. Is one of the things that we got when I was getting feedback was there are some people that were kind of confused as to who these characters are. So there's going to be a character glossary in Elysian Fields from this point forward. And then what you're also going to be getting in this Support Our Troops edition, as I said, is that gallery of Justin's process with the pinups, and then we'll have like the finished product of his pinup in there as well.
Can we up the ante, Michael? Can we up the ante?
Yeah, sure.
So let's do this. How about when we do the pinups, put them in a package, mail them to me. I'll sign every single one of them. We'll number them 1 through whatever. I'll sign every single one of them, send them back to you so they all get signed. But what I'll do is I'll send you 2 additional pieces of original art that I won't share that are military related, and you can insert them randomly into somebody's packet.
Nice.
So I'm gonna
Hell
throw
yeah.
that. Let's just throw
Very
it
cool.
out there and have people have that randomization and see if they get something.
Okay. I mean, you're not gonna hear any complaints from me. That's outstanding.
great.
Thank you so much, Justin.
I'm
Really,
interested in coin, man. Like, I want to put it in my coin collection really bad. I didn't know there was a coin floating around on this. This is nice.
dude, challenge coins are the shit, and I love
Yeah.
them. And like it, you know, when he was talking about a unit patch, I went to go look at this one website that was recommended to me, and they're like, "Yeah, we do unit patches too." And I looked at the price of per unit on the unit patch, and I was like, on the challenge coin, I went, "Fuck yeah, we'll do both."
That's amazing.
And so,
I have a challenge coin, and I make sure when I go to Comic-Con I take it out, because apparently the rule is I take it with me, because the rule of this challenge coin is that they slam it down at the bar.
Yep.
And if you don't have your challenge
It's the same
coin,
rule. Same
then
rules
you're buying
apply.
that round.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh man. So I'm walking around with like all these challenge coins. I need to find like a universal smasher or something. That way, no, I don't have to
when
carry
was
all
in
these
the
different
service,
ones.
I got one from the Secretary of Defense, and I got one from the Vice President of the United States. So anytime somebody drops a 3-star or 2-star, I just pull that out and set it down.
Yep.
yeah, that's
Nope.
not fit.
No, I did. I was on the back end of that one. So like, I had the Secretary of Defense, somebody, I forget who it was. I got a few of them, and then like I lost because another one of my buddies had a freaking presidential coin. I'm in the public relations in the Army, so you tend to meet a lot of people like that. So so yeah, I got burned. I was like, damn, I thought I had a good one.
Yeah. See, I was in military school. Nice 71 Lima training. Twinkle, twinkle, little shield, keep me off the battlefield. That's what I say. Because I'm telling you, I'm like, can I pilot the drone? I'll drop a bomb. It's not a problem. I'll drop a bomb from the comfort of a nice cushy computer chair. I can't go out there and no, I can't do it.
The coolest coin that I got when I was in was our unit made a special challenge coin for us towards the end of our deployment to Qatar, and it wouldn't mean shit because it wasn't like we got handed it from anyone important, but it had a badass design. I was really upset because it got lost in one of my last moves. I was like, no.
Wait, did you say deployment to Qatar?
Yeah, it was. It's literally it's unfortunate. I guess more of we got stationed in Qatar and did security for a year. It sucked. But like,
I'm sure.
Oh, it's no combat. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here like pumping my chest about it.
No.
Like it's not like I'm gonna.
Everyone else who doesn't know this is an inside thing that only the military then decides the pecking order of deployments, and you don't put deployment and Qatar in the same sentence, or you're gonna get grief for it. Like that's just how it is.
It's
at least it's not me saying I got deployed to Germany. Okay, because I know dicks that will say that.
That's the Air Force talking.
Yeah.
Hey. You know, I would have gone to the Air Force, but they told me I would never fly a plane. And I'm like, what? It's the only reason I'm here. What are you talking about? I'll never fly a plane. All right, I'm out of here. But yeah. Also, I didn't like the way that my girlfriend was looking at the ammunition for the plane bullets. I didn't like that. I knew what she was about. So you guys, you just started this campaign. 30 days left, 6 back, because you're at 215. We can get
not a bad start.
We can get higher.
It's not terrible, but I'm hoping we can boost that up a bit. And then, you know, we actually had a really solid amount of people turn out for that mailing list. We had 130 people sign up for the mailing list, and so that's where Joe comes in. And Joe is doing it up for us. That will be available as a purchasable add-on. But for the mailing list guys, they're going to get it for free. And I think that it's actually just sitting there behind him.
It's just sitting here behind me. Yep. I'm not hiding anything. It's not
I gotta tell you guys, I like that Dragon Guard cover. That's
Yeah, Kevin Sharp. We got a hold of Kevin Sharp and Alonzo Espinoza, who were the art team for Dragon Guard, and they fucking killed it.
Mhm.
It is a pretty cover. It is unsurprisingly the most purchased perk tier so far. Like, granted, there's only 6 backers, but like literally, we had one person purchase to support our troops, and then one person bought my creator cover that I did, and then this one has gotten the rest.
Yeah, you showed me this one, and I was just like, okay, you set the bar on this shit right here. Like, I'm gonna have to live up to it as best or close as I can. It's stunning work.
Kevin did a fantastic job, and then we also have. I wish he was supposed to be here. Scott Rosema did our cover for. We're gonna have a limited print hardcover collector's edition that collects both the Zero issue and the Pyramid Gambit. And he did the cover for that, and that's up there too, and it's just outstanding and gorgeous. And that one we're actually looking at doing the UV print, and what have you. I forgot to also mention. So Justin is donating the original art from his pinup, and be for sale, and the entire sale of that will be donated to the Special Forces Charitable Trust.
Cool.
It's amazing, man.
I see. Now, Luke, you're doing trading cards this time around.
Yes.
Trading cards, sir.
Yes.
So you move from letterer to artist of the trading cards. I'm a big trading card fan, Luke. Can you give us a little sample of what you're doing?
Hey,
No.
real quick, guys, I just got to get going, but I just want to say thanks for having me on. Little man's got a baseball game, so.
Okay.
Oh man, all right.
I've
You're
seen
the
that.
dugout. Nice.
Justin, thank you so much for coming out, man, and
thanks
really
for having me.
of course, and thank you for upping the ante on me. I'm gonna have to go include that in on all of our stuff because you completely blindsided me with that. You're like, oh, I'm gonna up the ante. I was like, oh,
That's awesome.
okay.
For the troops. Hey, have a good one, guys.
Hey,
All right.
Thank you. All right. God, it's nice to see that Justin is showing us how to do it. Like, I got 5 years left, and I want Justin's life. That's what I want to be doing.
Yeah. I mean, when it's all, I complain about the industry a lot, but man, sometimes I wake up and I realize I'm pretty lucky. I get to work in an industry where we're making up stories about cartoon characters all the time, which should be a lot more fun than it is. Almost said funner. Wow. So while we were talking to Luke about the trading cards, Luke, you can't show us any samples.
I can't show you any. No, I can't show you anything until I reveal them to Michael. And so he'll have inks this week. So
okay. All right. Rebel Gaming says, tell Joe the boys are back to town, or back in town, I guess.
Yeah, back in town. Nope, that's true. Nope.
That would be sweet. Yeah. Dan Stockwell is very happy with the choices you're making on Elysian Fields. Now, the next thing I want to bring up, and I seen this on here. I mean, it's right here.
Where are we scrolling?
Your retailer perk. Yeah, so I guess I get to do some shameless promotion right now, Randy, which I have been very tired for the last couple of days because I've been working tirelessly on Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group, which is a company I founded for distribution of indie comics to stores all over the country. I started working on Liberty years ago, maybe even 5 years ago now. You can see where we went to space and we talked to people, and every convention I go to, I talk to people. I picked Randy's brain over it for years. And but Michael came to me and said, hey, would you mind making sure that retailers get their comics in a nice package? Make sure they get them, make sure that they're not going to be damaged and that they're ready to go to the shelf I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, why not? It's for Michael. We'll try it out. And so I'm happy to help Michael do that, and we're very happy. If you guys haven't seen what a Liberty, hold on one second, Liberty box looks like, got some here, and this is one of the sample boxes I always keep near. I'll put it on screen. One second. And that's the other one. Let's see if I can move it. I think I told you. So here's the Liberty box, and inside, this is our standard box. We got bigger ones for larger orders, but again, invoice sleeve or the invoice and a business card will always be in there for you to be able to get to. But comics are bubble wrapped. They also come bagged and boarded. That is, and again, these are sample. This is a sample box. But so Cat Down Supermom, which is from Rob Anderson, well, Rob Gregory. Custom boards on the back. All the books are bagged and boarded when they ship out to the stores. We call it from ship to shelf. And that's what Michael wants for his books. He wants to make sure that they are all shipped out to the highest quality. So we're like, yeah, we can do that for you. And so that's the Liberty guarantee that you get in those books, that they're going to come packaged and ready to go out to your customers if you order that retailer perk there on Indiegogo. Which we never did that with Liberty. We never, help somebody with their campaign and shipping. So we're excited to, and retailers, rest assured that if you order that retailer perk, we're going to make sure that those books get to you in a condition that you can actually move them.
Also,
and
if we could point out too, the reason why so many of us are working with Michael right now is this is one of the great things about the indie world is that you be a good person and grind away, and you show people that you're willing to put the work in, and you're not a sleaze bag. He's a good dude, and all he had to do was ask me one time, and I was like, yeah, I totally will do stuff with your campaign, no problem. I'm not even worried about the money. So
yeah,
the fact that that's the great thing about the indie world, and that I've fallen in love with so quickly. So I think we can do stuff that other people can't do, and it's really about building those relationships.
I used to have a sign in my old office back when I was a fool and thought I needed a huge office to be a comic book publisher, and one of the signs I had in my personal office, that was the bullpen. There it is.
Wow.
One thing I like to say is, our biggest weakness is that we're indies. Our greatest asset is that we're indie, because we didn't have these, corporate masters to answer to and mandated, storylines we had to make happen. Randy, did you get Elysian Fields, the first one?
No, I haven't read it. Sorry.
I haven't read it. Okay, but you did get it.
No, I didn't get one.
You didn't get one. Okay, we got to fix that now with this campaign. And he's got, and now this book is more pages now.
Amount of those holofoils left. They are up there.
Yeah.
And each one of those holofoils is coming signed and with the Joe Tolliver pinup.
Okay.
I'm gonna be ordering some more of the Joe Tolliver ones to make up for the extra. I believe we have 30 of the holofoils left, so get on those while they're still there.
And to Mike's credit, Mike and Rob both, we had some people who had been jilted, I should say. They backed the comic. The comic came in a really hideous condition. It was bent. Somebody just threw their book in a bubble mailer, a regular manila bubble mailer, and sent it out. And both Mike and Rob stepped up and through Indie Vote and said, if you bought that book from that person, we at their own cost sent people their book as a replacement, because they felt that person doing this in indie comics through crowdfunding was a slight on us all. So they stepped up and did that, and that was cool. And then we were happy to help, for whatever we,
I even got a chance to do that. It wasn't for that book that you were talking about, but we actually got the 0 issue into a retailer. And the
Yeah.
way that we did it was I can't remember where they had commented, but this store called Geekadrome, which is in Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
had commented on one of the posts I think that you guys put up, and they were pissed. They had ordered a retailer perk from somebody,
Mhm.
and it came all fucked up.
Mm.
And so I commented, I was like, I have a retailer perk. If you're looking for a good indie book to have in your store that's going to get to you safely, hit me up.
Yeah.
And they did, and they were just late on the campaign, so I was like, no worries, we'll do this through PayPal. I gave them since they got screwed on that last book, I gave them a discount on shipping, I believe.
Mhm.
So like I got them their books, and they're at store.
And yeah, Paul, I got a chance to meet Paul, who owner of Geekadrome.
Oh, he gave us a great interview.
Yeah, he's been on the show. I remember the first time I met Paul was at a Comic-Con that I did not know the Comic-Con opened at was it 10 a.m. Lola?
First day.
It was 10 a.m., but the con doesn't close until 3 or 4 a.m.
Oh God.
Wow.
And so you're there until the early hours in the morning. And I was watching a buddy's table of mine who said, "Hey, I need you to come down because I got to leave back. I got to leave I can't stay. So I need to drive you down to Pittsburgh, and I have to leave you. And then I'm going to come back and then pick you up." And so I was like, okay, sure. And, it was, I did not think, you think, I can stay at a Comic-Con all day. Oh my goodness, you can't. You think you can. You can't. I heard of a 24-hour con shortly after that. Someone was trying to do a actual 24-hour Comic-Con, and
Fuck that.
I've
attended those in the past, but the barter room, the dealer's room, is only open certain hours.
Yeah, see, I could understand that. Like
the con goes on 24/7.
You could close your section if you wanted to, because it's a all the arcade games are there and they're all free. It's called Replay FX. Is that what it is? Replay FX, and it's Comic Cons and it's comic books and video games, which is great. But yeah, a lot of hard work getting that sitting at that table for hours. I do want to ask from you guys. I got another question in here. And this one goes actually out to Joe. Said, okay, so Joe, you got your Indie Comics cast as well as you're working on this series. How do you balance it? And that one is that's another question from someone named Phil. So he didn't put a last name. I'm gonna ask the same Phil that wrote in.
Yeah,
different one. It might be a different one.
Yeah, no.
How do you balance?
So I've got the Comics Cast with a few other owners of Comics Cast. I've got the artwork that I've been doing now, I want to say pretty hard for about 8 years now. So just finished up doing an Upper Deck card set for Marvel. So that should be out in about 3 weeks. Then I got stuff for Mike that I'm working on, and I want to do more. But this is a time thing. I actually have turned down a few jobs. And then I've got the army that I'm in currently, like active army. So like I'll be gone for the next 3 days in training. So, stuff is gonna have to get pushed to the right a little bit more. So one of the things I love that Mike's been able to do is he's been really like super supportive of my timetable. He's just not like, dude, you're blowing me off. So the biggest thing with what he asked for me, I mean, was quality. Like the so much going on this page, and he just standard. It's crazy, man. So I want to live up to it. I don't want to rush it. But the only way to do all this and have a family is to sleep less. Really, honestly, sleep faster, like Arnold says.
Yeah.
And that's it, man. Like that's all you can really do. I just try to remember that I'm doing something that I love doing, and if that'll help sort of drive what I'm doing and how much I'm putting towards it.
I'm gonna start an argument with this next question.
Okay.
And this is going to be an argument because I know we're all going to have different opinions on this. Some of those opinions will mash, other ones will diverge, and we'll all leave this conversation having less respect for each other than we came in with. Glenn, hello, Glenn.
Glenn Ford in the house. Hello, Glenn.
So this one is from. It looks like it's John. I guess it is John. Okay, Jeahn. So I'm guessing that's John, but a J. He wants to know. This is his buddy, and he are putting together a comic, and he thinks it needs more work, but his buddy wants to put it out. His buddy actually already has issues 1 and 2 already drawn very poorly in his opinion. But his buddy is telling him that you need to put the books out, get them done, get them out there. People can't buy the books if they're not there. And he doesn't subscribe to that theory. He wants to put the best book out possible for the fans. No matter how long it takes. I'll say first, I understand that. I've dealt with that. I've dealt with, having to want the book out at a certain point to hit a certain date for whatever reason you have, and you just can't do it. You just can't make it happen. And the quality of the book looks crappy if you rush it. I mean, sometimes you got to go ahead and get that panel done. I get that. But I'm talking about if you're just going to say, I'm going to do this book in 3 days. I mean, if you're gonna phone it in and just kind of sleep your way through it, you're going to create a problem. I'd rather take a lot of time on a book and get it right or as close to right as I possibly can than
Years.
Okay, years. Thank you, Lola. Then the shit out interior forgettable product, which people tend to do because they want to use this as a some people are in comics. Remember, some people are in comics because they want to get to a film deal. They want to get to a Netflix deal. They want to get to a Hollywood deal. So they don't care. And that's where you will see a lot of your toxicity come in from because they don't care about comics. They care about trying to get that Hollywood deal. Amen. So you'll see that. But yeah, you know what? In my opinion, tell your buddy, hey, we take time to take this thing back to the drawing board. If you don't like the art, because that book will stick with you forever. And you'll always look at it and say, what could have been. We will let somebody who's dealing with wrangling a lot of cats right now weigh in first. And that's Luke Stone. Luke, what do you think about that?
You gotta split the difference. Done is better than perfect, but crap is worse than done. So you want to make sure that you're finding that happy middle ground. If you draw a book in a couple of weeks, I guess it's possible to do that because I've been able to, it's called butt power. It's the ability to stay in the chair for hours at a time to be able to get that stuff done. And
is that what that is? Butt power. I see.
Butt power. Yeah. Some people got it. Some people don't. It's also the ability to be able to draw without sleep.
I can make mine do tricks.
Has already spoken about. You've got to be able. It's like, do I really need to nap right now? Do I really need to eat? How long can you go without peeing? Those kind of things. But you want something that, well, first, the story, you've got to make sure it's good. So you work with an editor. If your buddy doesn't want to listen to you, then hire an editor. When it comes to what I put out, I have no problem telling someone they have to go back and redraw something. But art is subjective. But there are some very identifiable things like pacing, anatomy, things like that if you don't do that, if it's not visually appealing, then people aren't going to. It doesn't matter how good the story is. If the art is subpar and not visually appealing to people, then it's going to detract from the story. The opposite is also true. It doesn't matter how good the art is. A bad story is going to take away from the book. So you've got to find good quality, but you've also got to get it done. But have a realistic timeline. And maybe if you need, talk to someone like Varian or Randy or Joe or myself or even Michael, who's had some experience now with getting these books done on time. And what it takes, what's a realistic time frame for getting a book done? What's the expectation? So feel free to reach out on those things. That's what I would say.
Tatiana from my Facebook says that Joe looks like the missing Brolin brother. Is there a missing Brolin brother?
I don't know who that is. Someone's gonna have to pull that up.
Josh Brolin.
Oh, Josh Brolin. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know if that's a bad thing to be associated with, Joe.
Well,
That's
I mean, I always call you Chris O'Donnell. So, call you Chris O'Donnell. I mean, you know.
I recently got John Cena. That was my most
I could
recent
see that.
one.
Yeah.
Like John
Well,
Cena. Oh my
yeah,
god.
I don't see that one.
not true. I can see you, Joe. There's no way.
I'm just Joe. That's me. But I've got my whole life. I've got like, you look like somebody else.
I just tell people I got one of those faces.
I got one.
When people tell me you look familiar, I say, "Well, do you watch America's Most Wanted?" Usually, what?
I can't imagine the reaction. You're like, "Oh, you're that guy," and then you just kind of fucking leave into it. That sounds awesome.
I didn't know this until a documentary. Do you know how many reenactors get arrested?
Say Korean actors?
No. Reenactors. People who do like the actors who reenact the crimes. Yeah.
Awesome. I never thought about that, but that's terrible.
Yeah, they get arrested quite frequently for the crime. And they're like, "No, I just played the guy. I'm not him. Please leave me alone." They're like, "No, you're going to."
No, I saw you do it. No,
yeah.
8:00 on ABC.
I remember a friend of mine in elementary school. Even, I mean, we're like in 5th grade, and there was this old show called Real Stories of the Highway Patrol, and it was all reenactments. And we're talking about cops in that show, and there's another show called Strange Universe. They would all come on late night. And he says, "I don't like Real Stories of the Highway Patrol." And I remember asking him why, and he said, "Cause they're there watching the crimes happen and don't do anything about it." And I remember just giving him this slow turn, like, and I was in 5th grade, but it's like,
bro.
yeah.
Son, you're stupid.
What the fuck is the
where
we it was a fun 5th grade year. That kid was weird. So you guys now you got, you know,
that's an example of the quality of friends you used to hang around with.
Oh yeah. That now. Yeah, I'll tell you guys a story off air you won't believe.
You never hung around with any gorilla milkers, I'm sure.
No. I didn't discover gorilla milk till way later. I was a teenager.
I was this day old when I figured out what the hell that gorilla milk stood for.
Well, you know, we're all
a term that I had never even heard of.
Yeah,
that's the purpose. One of the missions of Indie Volt is education.
Apparently, I
didn't realize it was that kind of education you were looking for.
It's all kinds of education.
Yeah, and the California water omelet.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Which is like,
I might try and screw with a buddy of mine. Yo, you've got to go to this place and ask for their California water omelet, and just see what happens.
It'll be the one person that watched this show that's working at that establishment.
That's what it'll be.
Are you sure?
Really want that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you certain?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Whites.
I've been kind of needing this all day. If you don't mind, thank you.
Don't you worry about that. I'll take care of it.
Oh, it's horrible. We slipped into depravity.
Way into depravity.
Yeah. Well,
picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
So Randy, I know that and you've watched a lot of books come together. Do you want that book out there fast, or do you want to take time with it and take it back to drawing board necessary?
Everybody's situation is different, and he mentioned earlier about wanting to do the fans a service, but do you have any fans right now that are reading a book that you haven't published? You know, do you want to publish that book? It's a tightrope. You really have to decide between the two of you if you're going to kick that book out or not. But without seeing the artwork, we can't really know for sure exactly, you know, how bad it is. Maybe it looks really crappy. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you think you can do better. Sometimes you just have to, as they say, cut and run. It's more important to do a book, get it out there in front of people, and then worry about maybe either doing a revised version of it later or doing some sort of patch work or a director's type cut on it. Daphne Lage says, without seeing the comics, I can't say whether a book is not ready for prime time. However, way too many creators waste a lot of time retooling their first issues, chasing perfection.
I feel personally attacked, Daphne.
And that's
what
that's not your first book, though.
No.
But she has a definite point there about sometimes you just have to print it and take your lumps and deal with it. And remember, it's always the worst art job that you've ever done is the one you're going to end up signing the most at shows.
Yeah.
Well,
but
because you're never, if you're a true artist, you're never going to be happy with what you're doing.
Yeah. Well,
You're always going to want to be improving and getting better and trying your best to do more better.
Yeah,
And,
there's two things I would say about that. Number one is yes, the I'm never as happy with the page as when I first finish it, and I never hate it as much as the next time I look at it. So it's like it eventually sometimes I deal with them. But I ran into this. I get this question all the time because I started the hybrid series 4 years ago. And so the first issue was drawn, and then we got the second one. I got better, and then now I'm on 5, and I'm drawing 6 right now. And so they continue to get better. And I'm releasing the trade paperback, and people keep asking me, "Well, do you want to go back and redraw that first issue?" And I'm like, I would love to. I would love to go back and redraw that first issue, but then that keeps me from drawing issue 6, and issue 7, issue 8, and so you're absolutely right. If it serves the purpose, it does the job, then. You can't keep going back and revisiting those things too often because you eventually do want to start telling new story.
And we've mentioned it. We've mentioned it here on the show before. A lot of times, especially when you're working in alternative and independent books, a lot of the joy that the fans receive, a lot of that transparency is seeing your evolution as an artist, as a writer, and see your progression is getting better. You have a germ of an idea. It looks okay. First issue gets a little better. Second, just like what Luke was saying, gets better with the third, starts getting great with the fourth. And it might take 5 or 6 issues to really get rolling. But to see that when you collect it, to see that evolution though, just adds to the joy of the work.
So I have 2 things. First, I before I get into my comment, I want to bring attention back to the Pyramid Game because we just jumped to $785.
Okay,
sweet. So we're getting that Indie Vault bump. Thanks for everyone that's listening out there. You guys are the best. So that's awesome. We have pretty much almost one of everything sold at this point. So that's great. Thank you guys so much. The other thing that I want to address is the question. So he says that the guy that's writing this in is the writer and his buddy is the artist. And so
that's what I got from it. Yeah.
If that is the case, then this is what I have to say. When I was first starting in Elysian Fields, I really wanted to work with a buddy of mine. I knew he was a talented artist, and he was looking for work. And I thought that it would be awesome to get a chance to work with this guy. And he is good. He's really good at his job. But when he started sending me his stuff, I just knew it wasn't the right fit. And so my take on it is this. Yes, you don't any shot that you don't take, you never know what people are going to think of it.
Right.
But on the other side of it, if you look at it and you think that poorly of it, it's not what you should be putting on stands.
Mm-hmm.
If you think that the art is bad, if you are somebody that's like, yeah, I don't think that I would invest money in this, then it's time to send stuff back and get stuff redone.
Ralph says, "Do your best to get on to the next one."
Yeah.
James said that Hollywood deal requires that the producer see quality work. If you just do it to do it, that ain't gonna impress anyone, and therefore it won't take any potential deals off the table. If they aren't impressed by you, they aren't talking to you.
But this isn't about Hollywood. Let's make something abundantly clear. We're talking about making comics. All right. I don't think anybody here would have any problem if Netflix or somebody from Hollywood came up to you and said, "Hey, we want to make a series out of your thing." But at the end of the day, that's not why any of us here got into this. We got into this because we loved this medium.
Well, no one here. Yeah. Well, yeah. There's no one here,
like
but there are. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
and no, don't get me wrong. There are people out there that just see this as a way to get in and get those get those Hollywood deals. But those are generally those are the books that don't do as well because they aren't here to make comics. They're here to get to their next step to get into Netflix. They're here to get into Hollywood. They don't respect the genre for what it is.
Well, yeah, you see that with you can even see it in the way the comics are wrote. They're wrote more like screenplays than they are comic books because these people they don't really like comics, so they ended up they write movies. Now, I will admit, there's a part of me that
they're rejected screenplay options effectively.
Right. There was a part of me that wrote my first comic like a movie, and then I was like, hey, this make a really good comic. I'm going to focus it into a comic. But I was already a comic book fan. I already been making comics. So.
And the difference between those two things are, once again, made a distinction as a writer that the piece you were making had a better identity as a comic book than it did as a film, and you actively transitioned from screenplay to comic in a way that was organic.
And it will take someone a lot smarter than me to be able to make it into a film. Pop says Elysian Fields, a Pyramid Gamble camp. Period. Yeah. Pyramid Gambit looks freaking awesome. Thanks, Pops. Yeah. I'm just a pirate. So pirate. I'm just all over.
Thanks, Pops.
Yeah. Thanks, Pops. Appreciate that. They jumped up to $785. Here, that's an Indie Vote bump. That was a massive one too.
Yeah, well, like we have that whole enchilada perk here, which I think somebody purchased that and purchased one of the Hall of Foils, so that boosted us up quite a bit.
Very nice. I'm glad to see that happen. You guys all deserve it. I know everybody works really hard and is working really hard to get this book done. Joe's got some original art back there, but before we jump at that, Jameis says it was referring to a point made earlier that some artists draw for potential Hollywood. You should always do your best. Only seeing it as a transitionary step doesn't do you any good. Yeah,
no, and that's true. And I didn't mean to jump down because I know he was I didn't mean to jump down that guy's throat on it. It's something that is a personal issue to me because I've seen people that literally the only reason why they did their book was because it was a screenplay that they optioned, it got rejected, and somebody was like, oh, we could turn this into a comic book. Yeah. And now they're doing this, and it's like, oh, well, actually, this is just a way for me to get notice. And it's really frustrating because, me getting to this point was a point that, I had always dreamed of. I'd always wanted to do my own comics. I grew up with these. And don't get me wrong, like, playing with film and doing all these other things, it's fun, but it's not the point. Like I have, a lot of my friends that I work with that have read the book, that purchased the Zero issue that I read. It's like, when's the anime coming? When's the Netflix series? When's this coming? When's that? And it's just one of those things where I was like, if we were ever approached, of course, I'm not going to be an asshat and be like, no, never. But that's not why I got into this. My focus is making a good book. And, I'm trying to take everything that, listening to you, Varian, listening to you, Randy, listening to Luke, to Joe, listening to a single person that has got hands-on with my book or that I've talked to that has had hands-on in this industry and using every single bit of information that I can to better my craft and continuing to push this book to new limits and taking that and applying it to other projects. I got 2 other things that we're working on as well. But again, that's the focus. That's the dream for me, is to make good comics that people come up to me and be like, hey, I read Elysian Fields. It fucking blew my mind. I had a blast. It was really fun. Luke's lettering is awesome. Joe's pinup was great. All of these things are fantastic, and I want you to know that world to me because you put that effort in. That's what I give a shit about.
I once played Luke a compliment. I'll never do that again. I paid Luke a compliment, and the next thing I know, his ego got too big. I had to, bring him down a few steps. Pops says after the wedding, I'll be backing it. And I'm sure they'll appreciate that. Pops actually, if you guys don't notice, Pops is he's going to be on the season finale of what's it called? 90 Day Fiance. He's marrying some nice Peruvian girl.
Well, of course,
yeah,
totally not his son.
Yeah. He'll be getting married. No, I'm just messing with you, Pops. I know you're not the one getting. Pops' son is getting married, I believe.
Yeah.
Big wedding he's got planned. James says it can be fun writing something that refers to a point earlier in the conversation, doesn't get read until way later in the conversation. We get lost in the comment times. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, a lot of it also is like Mike goes down a rabbit hole a little bit, but it's good stuff. And what worries me is that someone might actually like take it out of context because you are passionate about what you're saying, man.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I've seen it done both ways. I've seen people that do it in good faith. But like, I think the readers are going to see that passion and that belief in what your book is, that light in your book that makes it that indie passion that's behind it. So I think at the end of you see that. I think as readers we see that, even if it's something like we were talking about before, the quality will kind of jump from book to book. I think readers see that, and you just got to leave it up to the readers to pick up the books that people are passionate about, even if it's meant to go to Netflix. If the person's got a passion behind it, and this is the way that they feel they're getting to the dream, that's the only where we divide a little bit or separate a little bit on how we judge it a little bit. But it's just about if your passion is there, I think the readers are going to enjoy it, and that's all we can really do as indie creators.
Amen.
And that's.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. That being an indie creator is man. I mean, a lot of even before this, I wish kind of that I would have had crowdfunding when I first got into it, because I didn't. So a lot of money came out of, and I'm to this point where I'm still doing that. I'm still putting my own money into comics, and I don't go to crowdfunding, and I really should. It probably would save me a lot of hassle. Yeah, Lola's gonna actually be the first between she and I to go to crowdfunding. Pop says, "Ain't a woman alive dumb enough to marry me." Pops, if you let me see your bank statement, I'm pretty sure my mother-in-law would take you.
No.
Wow, my mother-in-law is a cunt bag. Wow. Okay.
Hello.
Oh,
hey, everybody. We're TVMADLSV.
My mother-in-law is fantastic. I love her. She's a wonderful person, and I'm happily married to my wife.
My apparently.
As long as you talk like that, you'll stay that way, right?
Yeah.
Cover all the bases. It's important.
JD says he's a little late. What's up, gentlemen? JD Daphne will be able to catch you up on all the gorilla milking we've been doing.
Oh, absolutely.
You're gonna what, Lola?
I'm not a gentleman.
Oh, yeah. Lola said she's not a gentleman.
You gotta make sure, JD. You gotta make sure you try that the California water omelette in your local diner.
That too.
Yeah, you get a lot of diners on the way home. Stop by and get that California water omelet with a nice tall glass of gorilla milk.
Pop one ups you and says, "You assume I have a bank statement."
I mean, you got a house and enough time with my mother-in-law, you won't have either.
Exactly. We love you, Pops.
Although a man having a house isn't a prerequisite for her to be with them.
They just got to have a bank account.
They even gotta have a bank account because the last I almost said something horrible. Ooh, catch yourself, Varian. Catch yourself.
Well, Varian, Krista just called her a sea bag. So how much worse do you want to get?
Hey, your mother. I'm like, well, okay.
I mean, I guess if Chris is the one that's saying it,
we got
Bob says I am a damn comic book character. It doesn't pay.
Yeah, you
No royalty check. Sorry.
On these are expensive. She'll figure out a way to sell them.
He's got something to smoke. You're good.
Yeah, yeah. This has definitely been an interesting show. White House, it has been
Definitely been an
Interesting
interesting
is a
show.
good word. Yeah.
guys. I do appreciate you all being on here. I really will look forward to seeing the book when it's completed. I know this has a lot more pages than the first one.
Yes, it does. We doubled this. So the first book had it was 24 pages of story. This book has 54 pages of story. As I said, we're going to be having a character glossary.
Mhm.
I don't know how many pages that will be just yet. I don't think it's going to be like super extensive. It's literally just I'm going to be going down and like breaking down like who each character that has appeared in the book is, and like I'm going to try and keep it to like 2 or 3 sentences per write up. The other big thing that I hadn't mentioned yet, but that is a very important thing to me with this book is this book is dedicated to a guy named Major Timothy Tynan. So about a month and a half ago, I was sending out digital copies of the Zero issues to some teachers of mine that were very influential to me through high school, college, you name it. And probably one of the most influential teachers I've ever had was this guy, Major Tynan. I went to a military high school, Barry, and you and I have talked about this a bit. And so I went to go send him a message, and I was like, I haven't heard from him in a while, and I figured I'd go to his Facebook and check in and see what he'd been up to. And I found out that a few months ago he passed away of the coronavirus. And it hit me hard because this is a guy that I've always loved history, I've always loved mythology, but this was a guy that really taught me the importance that studying history has. And he had a tremendous effect on my life. And in fact, for a very long time, I wanted to become a teacher. And that was in no small way because of him. And when I found out about this, I ended up doing a post on my Facebook about him. Because he did mean so much to me. And he was somebody that I actively kept in contact with. And his sister ended up seeing it and got in touch with me to say thank you for the kind words. And I talked to her and I was like, look, I'm publishing a comic book and we have our next one coming up. Would you be okay to Major Tynan? And so we are we will have a dedication in there and the book is dedicated to Major Timothy Tynan. So I'm going to be giving them a copy as well.
Gotcha. And for our radio listeners out there, that's the Indiegogo campaign, Elysian Fields, the Pyramid Gambit.
That's right. Available now. You got 30 days. Get to it. Make Joe Tolliver work. Make Luke work. Make Liberty work. Store retailers. You know me already. We've been talking. We're having these conversations. Usually, this is the first for us to back to do the fulfillment, the retailer fulfillment of an ongoing campaign. But we definitely want to help out Mike, because I know that Mike cares about the condition of his books and he cares about his customers, be that a store or an individual backer. So we want to be a part of that and help bring that to fruition. Guys, real quick, let's tell our viewers where they can find you at. We will start first with Michael Oden.
All right, guys, you can find me on Twitter at ElysianField_0, or if you want to follow us on Facebook, we have our 9 Realms publishing Facebook page. Elysian Fields Pyramid Gambit is the big thing right now. We've got a lot more stuff coming your way as well. And so just keep in touch with us. I'm no longer giving out my personal Facebook. I've unfortunately paid the price of that with a whole bunch of people who have used that with a lack of integrity. So I won't be doing that anymore. I don't accept friend requests unless I either have been notified that I'm getting it from somebody, or if they send me like a message saying, "Hey, I'm a fan," this, that, the other. But there's been some unfortunate happenstances with certain situations in that, so I won't be putting that out there. But love to have you guys checking out the book. Love to have you guys on our Facebook page, following our progress, and our Twitter, and make sure you follow Special Forces Charitable Trust as well, who we are partnered with, and get to know that organization.
Cool. Luke Stone.
Yes, you can find me at LukeStoneStudios.com. That's Luke Stone Studios with an S on the end.com. Go over there, sign up for my mailing list. You can also find my Indiegogo, which is live right now for another, 20 days or so. It's the Hybrids, the Sons of Gods. And you can also find me at terraformcomics.com. Check that out. And then find me on social media. You can find me on Facebook because no one ever talks to me. So I don't have any drama at all. Yeah. So, yeah.
Is that sarcasm I smell?
Come on by and help me make a friend. So, all right.
Please.
Joe, where can they find you at, sir?
All right, so I've talked about us, my stuff, probably too much on the show. So it's Indie Comics Cast real quick on YouTube, and then it's Comics Cast on Facebook. I would have you over at my personal Facebook, but I'm pretty much maxed out, I think, in about 20. So come on over as long as, you're an artist, you want to do your thing. But I know you guys are closing up shop. I just want to make sure that my portion of that Elysian Field stuff, the Pyramid Gambit, does come up. I want to show you guys something that it gives you a chance to see what the pinup is going to look like.
Okay.
And then on Comics Cast, you'll see the finished one, colored, the entire thing that people will get. My what is it, 19 by 24 on Bristol board is going to be available for purchase as a perk. So I'm going to show you guys what my inks look like. This is on a Witcher piece that I did, so you guys can see that. That's
That is awesome.
So you'll see this is my style, my inks.
Yeah.
So that's what it kind of comes out like. And now let me show you this big ass freaking thing that you can put on your wall if you buy it, or it'll be free if you guys got the printer or the
mailing.
So you put in the mail or the email, right? So that's, you can see the inks there, and then you can see that freaking crazy scene that Mike put me through my paces on. Doing it.
It was like, so let's do this, that, and Joe's just like, Jesus, calm down for like 5 seconds.
It's what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 characters, and I think he wanted 2 more, and I was like, they don't fit the thing. So oh, nice.
Jameis says it looks gorgeous.
Oh, he's got food.
Dinner.
Friday says a lot of things you talked about also apply to the radio business. Just add engineers and assholes and steer vigorously. And why do I have to get a separate pass for a small fee because my camera has a detachable lens? Yeah, I used to work at the Palace of Auburn Hills. That was the former home of the Detroit Pistons, the Detroit Vipers. Who else played there? But anyway, and I used to have to stop people who came in. If the camera had a detachable lens, you couldn't bring the camera inside. I used to get cussed out all the time. Jamie says that's gorgeous, that piece. Yeah, that looks real nice, Joe. Of course, you can find me, KYD_V on the Twitter.
The Twitter. I love it.
Yeah. Also look for Mr. Miracle on Grindr. That's my account over there.
Wait a minute. We've got somebody off stage that's asking a question for Joe and Luke.
Okay.
About their artistic talents.
Bring him in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you draw the Flintstones naked? There's a market for that.
There we go.
See, now I'm going to start stealing your guys' stuff. I gotta start. See, I do PG version. You guys are the MA. So
yeah.
We always like to warn people.
Yeah. We try to warn them, guys. If you want to send in a question and have us answer it, you can do that.
Let's not do that yet. That's Let's talk about the. Hang on, as he scrolls up very quickly. You're available.
Oh, well, yeah. You can do that. You can listen to us live. Right now, we're not live. We won't be live until later on this week on any of the show. We're doing some retooling, but Indie Vote Radio.
Anybody hearing this on the radio is going to think that we're live.
Well, yeah. Indie Vote Radio. Usually we are live right now, which I'm sure is upsetting a lot of people all over the world. But Indie Vote Radio on Google Play.
They're pounding their computer, wondering where Indie Vote's supposed to be playing a podcast.
Yeah. Indie Vote Radio, they're probably gorilla milking it right now.
That's not our problem.
Yeah.
We're trying to get that physical fitness in.
There you go.
Or streamer on iOS. You can type in Indie Vote Radio. Listen there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Independent music and content just like this. We talk comics, talk about the industry.
And gorilla milking.
Yeah, and gorilla milking. We had some real fun times with that. Also, Indie Vote TV on Roku. Download that as well. It is free. Independent movies. We got some wrestling content there. Some original series and documentaries coming very, very soon. They would have been filmed already and done, but COVID.
Yeah.
So we had to take our time and once again push stuff back so we can do it right. And if you want us to berate your question, well, that's really simple. We love to do that. Mail your questions to indievote@indievote.com. Any questions, some statements you want to make, you want to tell us about shooting white gold on Indie Princess, that's fine. Do so by sending that email to indievote@indievote.com. Please include Indie Vote Live in the subject field and keep those emails to 90 words or less so I can put them on those little cute cards.
And remember, folks, no question that you might send us is too silly or too serious. We like to address all kinds of questions here and educate our audience. And remember, with your question, our feedback will be better because of your setback. Hashtag get an education. Hashtag Indie Vote.
And then Lola says she does not like gold.
I don't.
Yeah. She does not like gold. So keep your white gold to yourself.
You will see Lola back here tomorrow, right? For a Geekgasm? Nope. We're not doing a Geekgasm this week.
It's up in the air.
It's in the air.
I will let everybody know tomorrow because I am under the weather.
Depending on how that how she feels and how the retooling goes along.
Yeah, the retooling, but trust me, once everything's retooled and fixed, you guys will love Indie Vote more than before. It's gonna be pretty cool.
And if you want to make sure that you hear us live, make sure you get on the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that bell for notifications. You never know when we're going to put out a broadcast next. We should be back Thursday morning at 9 a.m. for the Breakfast Buzz, correct?
Yep. 9 a.m. And we might even have radio back by then.
We might have radio back by then. And also Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. for the Sunday Funnies program. We should get that rolling again.
I feel really weird, Randy, not having the radio numbers up in the right-hand corner.
Yeah.
That I'm not looking at. And normally I know how many we got, but it's really weird. So how many terrestrial radio stations are you on? Well, we're internet radio. It's internet-based, so it goes all over the globe. And we've got people that come in from Portugal, New Zealand all the time because they heard us on, the radio.
Our numbers have been pretty intense, high, especially since the beer bug. Also,
shout out to I'm sorry, every time I think of a beer bug. We have you guys know that we were played in Randy. I can't think Comics Quest. And was that Comics Quest in the Philippines? They're closing, but they used to play Indie Vote Radio in the store.
Comics Quest, yep.
And we very sorry to hear that they're closing. Wish them all the best.
Yep.
But that's it for us here.
Daphne
Randy
wants to say before we leave, yes, there is a market for that.
There is a market for that.
And hey, I'm Randy Zimmerman. You can catch me on Facebook. I twit under Randy Zim on the Twitter. I don't twit very often, but you can find me over there. I also have the YouTube channel Zim Geek that I put videos up occasionally, probably all too sparingly, where I teach cartooning and we talk about the comic market when we're not talking here on the Indie Vote.
And let me play an ad from one of our sponsors, continuing to make sure that we highlight stores that carry indie books. And then we'll leave you with this. Until then, though, everybody, take care of each other. Quit complaining.
Stay healthy.
Quit being toxic before Toxic Avenger comes and beat your ashes.
Please.
All of you. Here's the ad. We'll see you later.
All right, bye.
Come on. to the